Welcome to my perfectionism series. Today we're talking about the procrastination to shame pipeline. Earlier we talked about the procrastination to imposter syndrome pipeline, which is a little bit different, but today we're talking about shame. Now, this type of perfectionism looks like waiting for the right time. And yes, there is value in waiting for the right time because there's different variables that go into timing, of course, but this type of perfectionism procrastinates and tells stories about why later is a better time than right now. So you say self like, I can't do it because Mercury is in retrograde, or today is the second Wednesday of the month and that's just not a good time to start. And maybe I'll do this in the first of the month and it's the 16th of the month and that's just not a good even time for me to begin something. Or I'm gonna do this in the new year, or when the full moon happens, or when I'm off my period, that's gonna be a better time to initiate. And there's all these stories that you start to tell that have so much creativity and storytelling around it that you actually start to believe these things, but low-key, you understand that most of these things are excuses, and that's why you start to feel a little shame. And the shame is a cycle because when you procrastinate and then you feel shame because of it, it makes you actually procrastinate more. It's not like you're driven by shame. Sometimes shaming works. It's like, I feel ashamed, so you make a change. It's not like that. So this kind of perfectionism pipeline is basically the more that you procrastinate, the more shameful you feel. The more shameful you feel, the more it makes you not do the thing, and you're just averse to doing the thing because it was not that hard to begin with. But because you waited 4 weeks and because now it's been 6 months, and now because it's been a year, it just feels more shameful to act upon it. And the reason behind this procrastination to shame pipeline is because you're actually afraid of your own success. And that's the thing. Some people are afraid of failure. Some people are afraid of rejection. Some people are afraid of abandonment. There's a lot of different things that go into perfectionism and the different archetypes of perfectionism. But this type of perfectionism is basically like you're just afraid of your own success. So it's not that you don't understand that most of the stories and narratives that you're saying are not reasonable excuses, but they start to sound like good stories. It's just not the right time. The procrastination is heavy. The indecisiveness is heavy. The commitment issues are heavy. So to heal this type of perfectionism, the procrastination to shame pipeline is for you to develop resiliency in your nervous system to doing uncomfortable things. And the reason that we create so many stories and narratives in our head that sound true, that sound good, that feel true, that feel like it could be some resemblance of the truth is because we're actually just not comfortable doing uncomfortable things. And so whenever we're doing something new or unknown, our body has a visceral reaction, right? You feel it in your body, your chest, your stomach, your heart, your breath. There's all these physical body cues that says like, this is new, I don't want to do it, this is scary. What if I don't make it? What if I'm not successful? What if? All the what ifs start to come. And so it's easier for you to give yourself an out, essentially, to say like, oh yeah, now's not the good time, or like, oh no, I have too many things on my calendar, or no, like it's this time of the year, or it's this time of the month, or it's this time of the astrology, or It sounds real, and there might be some resemblance of truth in that, because none of the things that we say is like completely false, right? There is some level of truth to it, and maybe some of the truths should be validated. But the reason that we create so many stories is because our nervous system is just not used to doing uncomfortable things. It wants validation of the ease and comfort that you have when you're doing the same thing over and over again. So that's why it's easier for us to repeat the same patterns and hang out with the same people and to do the same thing and consume the same foods and watch the same shows, and like it's just the comfort. And as a human, as a person, you seek comfort, right? And some comforts are great. Like for you to have comfort things is a good, resiliency tool as well. But when we're talking about healing through perfectionism, where it's holding you back, where it's not allowing you to make moves, where it's not allowing you to be perceived, it's not allowing you to do the things that you want to be able to do, then it's time to consider actually building that resiliency for yourself. So if you are interested to work together to heal through this resiliency, our 6-week perfectionism mentorship is starting February 28th. We're meeting for 6 weeks every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. And it's a self-exploration container where we're talking about these different elements of perfectionism, because all perfectionism is not created the same and they don't have the same pathway of healing. So somebody who's afraid of success is not the same who is afraid of failure. Somebody who's a procrastinator is not the same as somebody who's a overdoer. Somebody who's experiencing burnout is not the same as somebody who's never taken action. These are different pathways. So as we are talking about these different pathways, we're going to talk about how to actually approach your healing through these different pathways. So if you're interested, head to www.alwaysplay.org/imperfect. IMPERFECT. We start on February 28th, and I'll see you in there.